Well, let's get straight to our agenda for today. So we'll have a short introduction to the topic, and then we'll go directly to live demo about handling visualization of work permits, and also preview and upcoming features for the use case for Q1 23 with some all new features within UPV. So managing work permits and the according working areas is sometimes difficult to handle, especially when it comes to visualizing them. This can be quite challenging in regular working environments. In order to accomplish this, a good visualization of the plant is extremely helpful to keep track of current and active work permits, as well as the exact positions of the conducted works to possibly identify problems or conflicts before they even arise. So how does regular work permitting procedure look like? Well, there are different ways of treating work permits, varying from company to company, but usually work permit is issued from an office, a back office, and valid for a certain time period. So independent from the work permit itself, the connection of these works needs to be confirmed, for example, by the shift manager and the fact that plant's control center or even be denied due to current issues, work overlaps, or security reasons. So in this case, the work permit is issued to the worker. The worker goes to the control room where the permit is checked, where the areas where the works are supposed to be conducted are checked if they're free, if there's any issues that prevent those works being done. And eventually, when access is granted, the worker can then enter the plant and conduct his work. So how would that look in a live demo environment? I've prepared a use case here. Let's say I want to enter work permits and visualize them in UPV. I've prepared, in this case, a Excel list, Excel spreadsheet, but this is just to be seen as an example. Usually you would have an API connected database or any type of work permitting system you're using in use here. So in this case, let's actually start with creating areas for work permits. So basically I could just click one by one on the objects and assign a work permit area, which I used a custom attribute for here, or I could basically use our packages to create volumes and say, okay, this is area 01. And let's, for example, say I want to have the station here and say add condition by volume. And then just dragging my volume into position here. Here we go. And saying I want to catch basically all objects that are fully inside this fence here. So just say inside. And now I can highlight all of them. Maybe add these here too. So my box wasn't that perfect now. And then I go to attributes and assign a work permit area. I call this area 01. Then next, I actually want to take the pump station here. So I will again create a package, area 02, add it and say, okay, from here to here approximately by volume, have everything inside, and drag my volume into position. And say, okay, this should do. Select everything inside the volume here. And again, add those things I didn't pick with my volume box now. Say, okay, this is my area 2. go to attributes and define area 02. And last but not least, let's use, for example, this staircase here as area 3. So same procedure, area 03, edit by volume, and he will just use overlap, select. Okay, well, maybe overlap wasn't the best idea, so let's again take inside, deselect, and spread it out a little bit. So we get all those objects that are exclusively inside a box. Select them and assign work permit area 03 to them. So now that we assigned areas, now we can actually go to work permits. So I had one work permit prepared here, but let's say, okay, welding is supposed to be done in area 01 here. Start date would be January 1st, 23, and date would be January 5th, 23 in area 01. And let's select the color here. For example, red. And then let's enter use case 8103 415 would be the work permit ID. And this would be replace pumps. Start date would be, in this case, let's say January 3rd, 23, and to end on January 4th, 23 in area 02. And our highlighting color will be green for the pumps. And last but not least, 8103 501 will be welding staircase. And that would be conducted from, well, let's say December 12th, 22 until January 20th, January 20th, 2023. And that's area 03. And we'll pick orange for this one. So once we've entered this, how can we actually visualize this? As I said, I prepared an Excel simulation of a database here. So I can now enter, let me see what dates did I pick. Starting date, January 1st, 23. So I could enter that date, and I would be getting all work permits that are valid for this day. So you see the start dates and end dates for the areas. And now I can go ahead and use the deep linking here to actually visualize the area where the work packages are actually taking place. So this would be the welding of the piping, and this would be the welding of the staircase. Oh, picked the wrong color, but okay. Here we go with the highlighting. And let's say now I want to see, okay, what's going on January 4th, 2023. Well, all three of them. So we're also getting the replacement pumps here. And here we go. They got colored green. And this way, we can visualize our work permits accordingly to the settings we made here. So this is just one example. As I said, any type of work permitting system you're using in the background, as soon as supports any type of API connections, you can connect to UPV and visualize this by date, or even put in bounding boxes similar. This is the UPV as you know it until today. But let me show you where the journey is going to. So what is happening in the near future? So here we're adding an integration module where you can basically create your own interfaces. And instead of having them next to UPV, as with the current UPV version, you can have it integrated directly in UPV's user interface. So how would that work? Instead of preparing the areas with custom attributes, basically what we could do here is do, okay, say, okay, 801, 4301, and say this will be welding. What would that be? A valve station. Start date will be, oh, let's pick November 1st, end date November 10th. And all I have to do here now is create my work package by defining approximately an area covered. So this would be, for example, from here to here to here. So this should actually do the trick. Say create work permit, and the work permit has been created. So for the pumps, we'll basically do the same thing. Enter the ID, saying exchange pumps. Start date will be November 8th and going until the 17th. So we have some time overlap here. I say create work permit. So I created the work permit actually in the same spot here. Okay, let me repeat this and call it 06. And let's create one totally someone totally else. Saying, okay, we want to cover this area here. And this would be ID 20. And say, okay, this assembly and start date will be from the 8th of November to the 17th of November, create work permit. So now that we've created these work permits, how can we actually see the areas? Well, easily go to list work permits and enter a date that we want to look for, let's say November 8th, and it will give me all areas, highlight them accordingly, and gray out the rest. And if I want to go into detail, let me spread this out a little bit, to see, okay, I want to see the welding valve station area. So it gets me straight to the work permit box here. And so let's take the second pumps here. And basically, I can also create work permits within work permits. So a box within the box. Let me actually show you that one. And let's say I want to set these valves for cleaning. So it's 3104530. Description will be clean valves. And it would be also from 8th until the 16th. So when I list work permits now and I enter, let's say the 9th, then you will see, okay, we have overlapping work permit areas here. So we might want to check, can these works be connected in parallel safely? In this case, probably not, because if somebody's working down here at the pumps, we won't disassemble this here, but probably we will do disassembly first, and while we're changing the pumps, basically cleaning the valves. So, but this way we can also check, okay, what's happening at the same time, and how can we change the plan to make the works actually be conducted as efficient as possible. As I said, this is just a simple preview, simple demo, what can be done with the UPV. I know that every company has its own solution and its own approach. So we will be more than glad to consult you with that and basically find the best way to cover your use case. Feel free to contact us and we'll look into the details together.